Hello and welcome to Writer Rant, author advice in 5 minutes or less because I have to get back to writing and so do you. So this week I want to talk a little bit about unlikable protagonists. And now I'm not really talking about like your anti-heroes or people who, as the main character of a book, are doing something incredibly evil, so it's hard to like them. Those are usually the anti-heroes. Those are usually played off-type to pretty much create a conflict where, hey, we're on the other side of the good versus evil, and it's usually done for comedic or entertaining purposes, where it's, so like Deadpool, for instance, like he's kind of a hero, but he's more an anti-hero because he doesn't really abide by the same concepts that would come with a traditional hero. So if you looked at him, it's like, yeah, I really don't like this guy, like he's a jerk, he's kind of, all that kind of stuff. That's done on purpose. What I'm talking about kind of is more, if you have a main character that has to go through the character's arc to find character growth, right? It helps if you have them. It's like, yeah, we all have flaws in our lives. We all have flaws in our personalities. But if there's too many flaws, if the main character is like, oh man, this guy is just like a misogynist jerk, like I don't want to read any more of this because I'm in his head for hundreds of pages before he finally gets this revelation like, hey, maybe I should not be a misogynist jerk. And at that point, it's a matter of, okay, how long can you string along this unlikable character before your readers give up and say, I can't take it anymore, I don't want to read about this guy. This is especially prevalent if you're in the first-person point of view, where essentially you're in this character's head for hundreds of pages. It's really kind of startling, where it's just like, it kind of wears on a reader. And so I've actually had this in some of my work too. I had some beta readers come back, ironically enough in my memoir, say, hey, you're not actually painting yourself in a very likable manner. Like, I kind of threw all my flaws to the manuscript to say, hey, I'm not a perfect person. Here's all the things that are kind of wrong with me. Here's all the little chips on my shoulder that I have. And the readers are like, okay, you're one of the main characters in this book. You're kind of unlikable, and so I don't really want to read it. And I'm like, okay, that's a good point. So sometimes it's kind of toning it down. I know we want to put the maximum, change effect into our characters and say, oh, look, they used to be, awful, terrible, just people that were just slime balls. But then, oh, now they're saints. It's like, yeah, that's a very dramatic change. And unless there's something dramatic that happens to make that change, yeah, you might be able to do it in little chunks, but at least the little chunks kind of get it closer to the point where it's like, okay, hey, this guy's less of a jerk and less of a jerk, and so now you're starting to like him more as you read. But if you keep him being a jerk for a very long time, then it's like, okay, the reader's not going to like that. So if you are going to have that kind of extreme, unlikable protagonist, do it for a very short amount of time. Have them kind of come to a realization earlier on, so that way, yeah, they can still kind of slide back into that jerk mode, but at the very least they'll have some impetus early on, hopefully, to say, oh, hey, that's not me, that's the past me, I'm getting better. So that way your reader isn't just like completely disgusted by this person and just puts down your book entirely. So, what about you authors out there? Have you written unlikable characters? Have you had people that have reviewed your work and say, hey, I barely got through this because I couldn't stand the main character? Tell us about it below. Let's talk about it a little bit in the comments. And if you readers out there, if you find these unlikable protagonists, yeah, let us know about it in the comments. And if there's anything else that you readers or writers are frustrated with current writing, modern writing, by all means, drop a comment below, and maybe I'll make it into a future episode. So thanks for watching this episode of Writer Rant. I'm Benjamin M. Weilert.